planning for 2024, as so many of us in the room are, what specific opportunities do you see that businesses can be taking advantage of?
I can start. I think there's a lot of them, but at first I would start with just this attitude that I would love for us to all embrace, and that if we think we're going to be victims of something, that typically happens. And I think there's all sorts of positive signs. I always tell people, if we all just imagined World War II right now, we would be seeing these black and white pictures. Everything looks dark and desolate, but there were families going to parks. Businesses were doing great. There was all sorts of great things happening. So I think so much of it starts with our mindset as leaders that we're not going to be victims of what it could be a difficult economy. And because of that, when we start with that mindset, it gets us away from any excuses. And why that's important to me, this is more qualitative, is that we have this benefit as small and mid-sized businesses that we aren't, unless we're connected to like the auto industry or specific big industries, that we're really just not that impacted by the recession itself. We just have to work a little bit harder, right? We'll get there. We just have to work a little bit harder, but we don't want those excuses to say, oh, tough year, why? Well, the economy's down. Well, in the small, mid-sized business, we just got to work a little bit harder. Where I've seen a lot of people spend time as they get ready for growth, I love the way that you outlined it, Taylor, is getting ready for growth, is I'm seeing people spend a lot of time getting rid of things, like just being really clear about clearing out the pet projects, moving out products that don't have the margin profiles that you need, getting rid of the wasted space and wasted cost that's not important to the business right now, and getting a really strong foundation so it feels like an easier path to grow when you start to measure the right productivity metrics. I know we'll talk about that later. But I feel like it's getting your house in order, making sure we're still doing great work here, but also setting an environment where we're not sending excuses ahead of us because of what the economy is going to do in the future.